The ocean is a terrifying place, and fishermen have to experience it every single day. Welcome back, Charlie here. From swarms of deadly animals to unexplained sea monsters, here are the scariest things ever caught on camera by fishermen. First, we have to look at this giant creature. One day a fisherman in Malaysia was on a river. That's when he spots this in the water. There is a giant dark underwater creature right below the water surface. That's when, suddenly, it emerges. The creature then submerges back under the water. Exactly what this creature is not known. Some said this was an example of Salar Baidar. This is a Malaysian word meaning unexplained underwater activity. To this day, whatever the massive creature is has not been explained, and is likely still living in this Malaysian river today. Moving on, we have to look at this glowing-eyed monster. One night, a fisherman was off the coast of Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil. That's when he realized he was being followed by a terrifying creature. A gigantic dark creature with glowing eyes began following his boat. The fisherman speeds up, but the creature chases the man's boat, leaping out of the water around 10 times. Some called this a dolphin or a seal, but others disagreed. They said that it looks much too dark and menacing to be a seal or dolphin. Some said this was an unidentified sea beast. Eventually, the creature is pushed back by the speedboat's slipstream, but the fisherman said he was lucky to get away with his life. Certain dangerous animals sometimes board fishing boats and attack the crew. It is rare, but fishermen do have to deal with it. But what do you think this glowing-eyed sea monster could really be? A rogue dolphin or seal, or something scarier than that? Now I have to show you this mermaid skeleton. Do you believe in mermaids? Before answering, take a look at this video. A fisherman in Indonesia saw something strange in a river. At first, he thought it was the skeleton of a large fish, but when he removes the rock covering it, he realized it's not a fish at all. The skeleton seemed to have a human-like head and a tailbone. This led to some people online saying this was a mermaid skeleton. Of course, we normally think of mermaids as being far bigger, but this skeleton was only around 15 inches. Some said this may be the skeleton of a deformed fish, or maybe some species of animal which we haven't yet identified. The fisherman threw the skeleton back into the water out of fear, and said it was unlike any animal he'd ever seen. Since then, this skeleton has not been explained, and we still don't know if it's from a fish, mammal, or something else. Next, we have to look at this dangerous piranha fishing. This has to be one of the most fearless fishermen I've ever seen. This Brazilian fisherman is catching deadly piranhas using a piece of meat. This fisherman stands on the seat of his tiny wooden boat. He then puts a piece of meat attached to some string into the water. When the piranhas bite onto the meat, he puts them in his boat. These piranhas are very dangerous as they eat human flesh. This guy takes a massive risk putting them all in his boat. This is a genius way to catch piranhas, but it's also incredibly dangerous and risky for this fisherman. Piranhas have insanely sharp teeth, so I hope this fisherman has good balance. Next, we have to look at this chupacabra. Chupacabras are said to be vampiric animals who live in South America. People say that they drink the blood of livestock, including goats and cows. Sightings are rare, but in 2015, a fisherman from Paraguay claimed to have caught one on camera. He was fishing off the coast of Carmen del Parana. That's when he spotted this chupacabra-like creature in the water. The animal does closely resemble a chupacabra. It seems to have humanoid-like hands, and a small, eerie-looking skull. The local fire brigade were called and removed the creature. They then sent it off to be examined by experts. One forensic expert named Pablo Lemire said, "It looks like an ape with humanoid features." The fire department head, Javier Medina, said, "Given its traits, we believe it may be a species of monkeys based on the hands and legs." But to this day, it's still not been officially identified. Could this be the remains of a chupacabra, or is it something else? Moving on, we have to look at this alligator versus an electric eel. If an alligator and an electric eel went head to head, who do you think would win? Well, you're about to find out. out. You may think the alligator would easily be able to defeat an eel. Well, that's what this alligator thought too. A fisherman in Brazil saw this alligator about to eat this eel. What the alligator didn't realize was this would be his last meal. The electric eel shocked the alligator, ending the alligator's life. Electric eels can produce up to 600 volts, which is more than enough to take an alligator's life. Electric eels normally live in muddy waters and are very dangerous. You can even power a light bulb using an electric eel. They are amazing, but don't end up on their bad side. Otherwise, you'll end up like this alligator. Next, we have to look at this sea lion swarm. One day, some fishermen were out at sea. They were trying to retrieve the fish they'd caught in the net, but they soon had competition. A gigantic swarm of sea lions began surrounding the fishermen's nets. Sea lions are not normally dangerous to humans, but I still think it would be very scary to be surrounded in this way. Next, let's look at this unknown creature. In 2013, Connell Malarkey was fishing in Loch Foyle, Ireland. That's when he spots a dark, mysterious figure swimming fast in the water.
What is that? See it?
Due to the size, some believed this may be a whale, but its black ridged back means this can't be the case. Some said it may be the Loch Ness Monster, but right now this has not yet been identified. Other people claim to have seen similar things in Loch Foyle, but this has been the only sighting actually caught on camera. Next, let's look at this captured sea lion. One day some Russian fishermen are bringing in a big catch. What they didn't realize was they'd accidentally caught a massive sea lion. The sea lion was likely trying to eat the fish, but in doing so was accidentally caught in the net. The fishermen tried to get the sea lion to jump off the boat by spraying it with water. At first, it refuses, but eventually does jump back into the water. The fishermen were quite scared, and they're right to be. Sea lions can weigh over 2,000 pounds. They're also very skilled hunters, and while it is rare, they have been known to bite humans if they get scared. But luckily, this sea lion voluntarily returned to its natural habitat. Finally, we have to look at this human-faced fish. One day, a fisherman in China saw this in a local river. This fish looks like it has the face of a human being. Many people online were scared and stunned. Some said it may simply be a carp with bizarre markings that look like a face, while some said it must be some kind of hybrid fish. Some fish in China are contaminated. This is thanks to the Fukushima power plant disaster in Japan. But whether this is actually a mutant fish has not been confirmed. Now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below which of these videos was the most mysterious. I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. If you want to see my short videos, check out my second channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.